Ladies and gentlemen, you are looking at one of the best runs to Korean Masters I have ever seen. This is done by infamous jungler Tarzan from NA. 81% win rate on a fresh account playing solo to Korean Masters. This may be the highest win rate I've seen solo to Korea, and Tarzan is not stopping there. He wants rank 1 in Korea. His last trip got interfered by alleged bettors, win traders. This trip, he's there, he's locked in, and he's going for the top ranks. Today, we're going to break down one of his games, actually from Kha'Zix, 92% win rate. I'll talk why about the Kha'Zix this patch is completely broken for solo queue, why you can abuse it as well. And we're just going to watch some of his gameplay and talk about where I think he's going to end up on the Korean ladder. But without further ado, let's jump onto the rift. But before we do that, his name. I translated his name from Korean. It means Kirby Cat. I looked up Kirby Cat, and it's like, I don't like it. That's all the information I have. Now let's jump onto the rift. Onto the rift now, gentlemen, and I think every jungle main and player can agree at the moment, Kha'Zix is the best jungle for solo queue. If you are having problems climbing, even if you're not a jungle main, I'm pretty sure you could play Kha'Zix at the moment and climb. Watch this VOD to the end. Rune page in the bottom left, Dark Harvest. I think this is much better than the first strike I'm seeing in pro play by some of these Kha'Zix. You look for Chaos in the early game, Snowball. Now, Tarzan has some of the best clears in the entire world. I mean, he really is efficient with his clears. So if you watch how he clears, how he tethers the camps, it's much better than even some pro players that you see where they just don't clear efficiently. See him come through. Usually it's a bot to top gank, full clear. That's pretty much what he does with his Kha'Zix most games. And then he simply just looks to invade and 1v1 the jungle. Enemy jungle is a Graves with exhaust. Might be a little bit difficult. We'll see how we go. Tarzan self-proclaimed best Kha'Zix world today to me. And we're going to watch this game and determine if it is true. Katarina in the mid lane. Not quite at the elo of Cat Evolved yet. Cat Evolved did achieve Challenger. And a lot of people have been saying, oh, it's coincidental that, you know, some of these NA players go to Korea when all the Korean pros are over at MSI. That's such a silly take, in my opinion. It's genuinely like, it's lowering the pool in Challenger by like 10, 15 players, if that. And it really, the odds of finding those players and them spamming and running into it, it really doesn't decrease the server. There's that many players in Korea and China that play at higher level than server. If you hit Challenger, it's Challenger. Just because some players like Faker are not on the server, doesn't mean that the server's any harder. Maybe you can argue, oh, you know, 4 or 5 ranks different. That doesn't mean anything. Unless you're maybe going for rank 1, where someone like Chovy was holding it. You could maybe argue that, but we'll see. Only time will tell as we get bot to top clear. 323, 322. I'm not sure what the fastest bot to top clear is on Kha'Zix, but we'll wait for the scuttle here. Clear. Come through. We'll check the chickens. No chickens are available. Check the Krugs. Now we'll give so much information on where Graves is. It means Graves is definitely down bot side and look for the gank on Karthus top. Karthus has exhaust as well. Double exhaust. Jesus Christ. And Tarzan is just going to force it. This is so aggressive, bro. Flashes into the jump and he's away. And Kha'Zix, yeah, I was about to say, Karthus Q can land in that bush. Force top lane gank, it works. Now, one thing in your lower elo games with Kha'Zix, guys, is just force dragons. The best way as a jungler in lower elos to win is just stack dragons as early as possible. Kha'Zix isolated Q, stacking dragons so quick. Start stacking them, especially if your bot lane's winning and has shove. It's like a no-brainer. I see a lot of lower elo players just avoiding dragons like the plague because they're scared. Don't be scared, buddy. Just go and kill it. Please just go and kill it. It's not big, scary objective. As we will kill Krugs into the chickens. Maybe look for a bot side counter gank, actually. Let's have a look. In a right position for it. Can Saraki heal? Probably not. I think Varus is going to have to give his life. We're going to abort that. It's starting to see him hesitating whether he wants it. Katarina is going to move, and this could be really good if Katarina gets in time. So he's going to move. W, play it slow, wait it out. Flash in by the Katarina. We use that flash in the top lane, remember, as we get that kill onto the Graves. We do go down, but Cat gets one. And I'm going to call Worth as he is still down, actually, on the enemy jungle, but he's starting to stack those Dark Harvests. And the map state's looking decent. And you watch these junglers, and they're always up to something. You never want to be a jungler that's just going on downtime. What is this? Oh, it's literally the MSI promotion. Okay. As I believe we've seen Kha'Zix at MSI. Dungia has played it. Also, we saw G2 Yike play it. I think we'll see so much more of it. I'm seeing, as I track all these pro players coming over to Europe, they're playing a lot of Kha'Zix in the jungle, bro. It's gonna get nerfed next patch. Sometimes it feels a little bit obsolete to be spamming something that gets nerfed next patch, but sometimes things are just that strong as... Okay. Graves is on the hunt here. We have Smite. He'll smite that away, and now we're going to get a 2v2 against Graves and LeBlanc. LeBlanc is level 6. Rengar coming in, stalling out, and it might just be a gentleman's agreement. Red buff spawns. Now Tarzan, I don't know what rank he is in NA. I know he's been rank 1, but I don't know what his most recent rank 1 has been. This cat should not be able to get that LeBlanc as we get the evolve on the Q. It's a Q max into W max. Some Kha'Zix I've seen go for the E second. I think it used to be that, but the W you'll see, it's so broken, man. You spam those W's in the team fights with Dark Harvest, and it's just like, it's an AoE nuke. It's quite disgusting. So obviously you'll try and get those you get Dragon. The double jumps way later in the game when you have that E evolve. But we'll come through now. Grab the Dragon for ourselves. Liking the pace of the game. There is no reason, preferably if you have a control ward or a sweeper, if you're in lower elos to check if they have vision, but like you can just jump over guys and just take it. Just start stacking these bad boys up. Maybe hit a base and a bot to topside clear into the Herald. Let's see what happens. Just gonna rush the Herald. He's making his way towards... Sometimes I've seen him do Prowler's Claw. Sometimes I've seen Eclipse. I think Prowler's Claw is more common. Especially in a comp like this where it's really squishy. So I'm interested to see what he builds. Eclipse is usually for survivability. So maybe try and survive that Graves and LeBlanc. But I've only seen him build those 2 items on this champion. As Dragon into Herald. Enemy jungle is just caught in this little pocket. And this is exactly where you want the enemy jungle to be, especially if you're playing Graves. Like, Graves is trying to lane gank. This guy's forcing a bunch of plays with enemy team. This team might be able to outplay it, and we're just grabbing this for free. We'll be able to move up maybe, get some plates. Ilios goes through 200 years. Shouldn't be able to quite get it. I'm gonna wait for the crab and slowly start building leads. I don't think I've seen Tarzan really lose jungle since I've been here. In his style of play, losing jungle, so to speak, he's always high level and has more resources, but sometimes his team just loses. Enemy jungle spam ganks. Jesus, that's a lot of damage. And I do really think... I know some people disagree with Tarzan. Maybe they think he's a little bit too toxic. Things like this. It doesn't really matter your opinion of him. I think he's objectively a very good jungler and always had talent. When his mental is good and on, he's one of the best junglers I've seen and played with. Just the problem is sometimes, obviously, League of Legends can get the best of you. And that's the problem that happens in Korea mostly. Where a lot of games in Korea are out of your control. You cannot influence a lot of games in Korea. Teams will AFK, sell items, they're gone. That's why I'm a little bit worried. But if Tarzan's able to get into challenger games fast... Let's backstop. Cheers, mate. Will he tax this? Will he tax this? Will he tax this? Oh, thinking about it. Now we're going to get the plates. If he is able to get into the high elo games. When I found in Korea, above around about, like I played in Korea last year, above maybe 200-300 point masters. So that's probably near grandmaster now. That's where players started AFKing a lot less, and they started becoming a bit more proud of their ranks. They would still have inters and trolls, but they would definitely int a lot less. So I think if Tarzan gets to that level, I think it's going to be really good for him. Last trip, he didn't get there. He was still in the realm of inters. Low master players who are like diamond and get masters. It's just a mess. As we do make our way towards the Prowler's Call, like I said. Still squishy comp. He's going to be able to re-maneuver in these fights. Really liking to see it. Hopefully you'll see... They're down about a 1.2k gold. Enemy of Philios. Putting in the work. Best AD carry at the moment, in my opinion. If you can play good Aphelios, you will climb. Worst win rate AD carry in the game. Best win rate AD carry, in my opinion, in the hands of players like Gumayushi, Ruler, Hayes. If they get the AD carry, Aphelios, it's done. You've lost. If your random solo queue teammate gets it that's never played it, you have also lost. It's just... It's a mess. As you can see, Aphelios gets 5 kills. We have that Q-Max coming through now for the Zand. He might try and hunt down the Aphelios. Let's have a look. Bounce back from the cat. Tarzan attacks. He's on the hunt here. Rengar ult comes through. LeBlanc has snap back. She does proc it. Let's see how we tackle this. Give me the... Oh. Literally just Prowlers. Didn't get the Q off. Rengar takes it. And I'm not even... Like, you will be surprised this game at how much damage this champion does. I've been watching it, and you max Q, your clear and your isolated damage is too much. I don't understand how it's allowed. Look at this. And you will simply just outpace almost every jungler at this point. Look for really nice assassinations, enemy jungle. Spam pings coming through. You have to, in my opinion, mute pings in Korea. It's very good. It's very OP. His dragon is going to be up. I'll watch the fight in the mid lane as he clears some wards. And do you see how he just ignores the noise? This is what you need to do in your lower tier players. I see you guys all the time. You'll group here in the mid lane and be like, oh, we need to try and defend the tower. If you grab this dragon and start stacking the next one and force soul, it's just so much better. They're going to get one tower regardless. They're not going to be able to get 2. Don't just run around in the Nimbo Jimbo. You have to actually commit to the objective. I don't want you guys just hanging around not getting anything done. 2 dragons. They're down on gold. He's up on 2 levels now on the Graves. And of course, he's streaming his journey live on Twitch. I'll put the link in the description down below if you want to check him out. Put your predictions in the chat for where do you think he is going to get. What will be his peak in Korea? I think he's going to reach roughly 1,000 point challenger. Maybe 900 to 1,000. Do I think rank 1's attainable? Probably not. Oh my god. Is he able to live here? Thresh, hook, flash. That's horrific. It's going to come down essentially on that top 10 kind of push. I think he's the caliber of player that could do it. Problem is, if he has one really bad streak and mental just completely booms, like it's going to be rough to come back from that in Korea. Once your account gets tanked, you're done. So it's going to come down. Does he have a hot streak? Does he keep his mental in check? It's going to be a very interesting journey as another Herald. He's just getting every objective. Do you see? Huge lead. He has a 3-level lead over the enemy Graves. Only 1,000 gold. Thanks. Good job, Riot Games. Probably should have a lot more, but... Pick this up. And honestly, keep farming until the next objective. Start looking for picks here. making his way towards the Black Cleaver, maybe? I think getting cooldown reduction on this champion. Black Cleaver at the moment, a lot of junglers just rush Cleaver, dude. It's so broken mathematically for the stats you get. So for a champion like Kha'Zix, that's want haste, you want damage, some shred. Black Cleaver makes a lot of sense with maybe a Hex Drinker. And then you could make your way towards... Even go something like a G8 if you want to play super aggressive for the team fight to end the game. We only have 6 Dark Harvest stacks this game. Definitely could have more, but... Let's see how it's played. Tower first. Exhaust comes out. We'll grab that. Get the invade. Once again, ignoring the noise that is the mid lane. He'll grab the camps and just wait. His team, if they're smart, just clears the... There's no it's not Baron minions. There's no way they can just straight up end. Pops the Herald down for the Rengar, and now we'll come across. Maybe even look to pressure in on the mid lane tower. That's free. Enemy Graves is doing, like, it's just... This might be the shutdown he's looking for onto the Philios, by the way. Jumps in. Katarina. Gets the shutdown. Good pick. Just waited patiently. Pops off. Now they'll be able to get the mid lane tower reset, set up for the dragon. And genuinely, it needs to get nerfed. It's just... The new items are coming through next patch, so I don't know if Riot Games are really looking at champions. Or if they'll even bother, because they'll want to see how certain champions respond to the new items and win rate. So they might just leave Kha'Zix completely broken as is with new items, and he might be even stronger. We don't know yet. We will make our way towards the dragon. Of course, Hextech Soul. Beautiful soul. He won't be giving reds. Tarzan usually does take the buffs himself. 1v9 carry. Puts the trust in himself. I actually don't know how long he's in Korea for, by the way. But if he's only there for 2 weeks, and he gets a time element, as he looks for the one shot onto the Graves, Exhaust comes through. And I have never seen a more aggressive play, completely inset. He went for it, the Exhaust cut him off by guard. Katarina may be able to clutch it. And I don't know. I feel as though the play works. But he's just not able to get it because of the exhaust, and he goes down. Dragon's still been able to get picked up by blue team here. And that is probably going to make us, what, 23.5 minutes for Sol. Or an early game Kha'Zix, and that's where you want to be closing the game on Kha'Zix. If enemy has something like an Aphelios, especially if enemy has 2 exhausts, you just want to kind of close out as fast as humanly possible. Kha'Zix scaling if the enemy team starts getting... His comp, it's fine. But if the enemy team comp had like Cassante, Ornn, Nautilus, things like this, it started becoming very hard to carry on Kha'Zix post 25 minutes. So the dragons are essential to help enforce that closeout time. Things up onto the Karthus top side here. I generally don't see how this Graves can recover. And just see that Evolve W now being used to... I don't know what the slow percentage is. It's just... What is the slow? 75% or something like that? I don't know. It just seems... that when that W hits in team fights, it's very hard to play against. As he'll make his way in. He'll try and flash is over. Gets the Thresh. Now going to get the Graves. And he has the Black Cleaver. He has the Hex. Can he find the LeBlanc? Just going to burst her out. And you just play it slow. Wait for your moment. And then just go. 1v9 it. They'll look to pick up the Nash here. Q spam Kha'Zix. You have Black Cleaver. Easy. Free. And by now, from watching this, you should just understand. The champion... The stats and the items and the kit at the moment is just too much for other junglers to deal with after being nerfed. So he's just kind of arisen as the #1 OP pick. Hoping to see more of him at MSI. I would love to see him in the hands of someone like Kinavi. Like Ona. Like Blabber. One of those are not like the others. But I love explosive metas. And I definitely think for someone like G2 actually with Yike, you need to against Genji. I don't know if this video is going to go out before or after the Genji series. I'm predicting Genji 3-0 G2. Game gets played in around about 5 hours time from when I'm recording this. So I'm predicting Genji 3-0. I think G2 will try a bunch of cheesy things to try and cheese Genji. Genji will play safe and standard and then just slowly close the game out. I think even if G2 cheese an early lead, Chovy, Pays, I just think they know what they're doing. Doran, I think they're just going to be a really consistent unit around team fights and objectives late game. Probably going to be 3. Ooh, does get hit by 1. And he's got that more now. 115 armor, 115 magic resist. 2.3k health. So much damage, man. It's a great kit. You do need to be careful in this meta, though. Sometimes you'll get a full AD comp and it'll be hard to carry. Make sure your mid, top, or AD have some type of AP. As he'll make his way through. It's the ultimate. Gets hawked. Varus ult. And he's just looking for too much there. Gets caught. Small mistakes like that. Yes, this is like a Diamond Master game or something. You can probably still win. But if you do these mistakes in like high Grandmaster Challenger games, you'll throw. Against good players, you know? So I definitely think some of those plays definitely need to be honed down a bit. That was the second time we saw him really go for something aggressive. And then it probably just wasn't on the cards. It was just a bit of a fumble. I think it's just over-forcing, over-rushing. The bad thing about League is I always talk about, sometimes the most... Doing nothing and just waiting and being boring is the best way to win. Like, just wait for the objective and don't just force a fight to force a fight. Force a fight on the objective with better vision control and things like that. Like, wait for the advantage at least. Enemy LeBlanc gets the death cap. She ain't going to be doing any damage this game. That Hex Drinker is just going to be keeping us alive against the Karthus LeBlanc. Let's see how this team fight gets played. Gets the kill. Prowler looking to get the Aphelios. Soraka, he's just going to spam Q. W slow. 7, 3, and 8. I mean, Karthus didn't drop the exhaust. I do see why Thresh is pissed, but... What time is it? 23. They can't end. It definitely should be soul play. Get the Hextech Soul and then look for the setup. We're not going to waste any time over here. Aphelios does have 3 items. This Varus only 2. But 3-level lead pretty much from what, 9 minutes, 10 minutes, something like that. Enemy jungle just can't be useful. I've been waiting for Kha'Zix to come back to the mid lane. Kha'Zix mid, there was a period where he was a mid laner. Shout out Alex Each. Will I think he ever comes back to the mid lane? I don't know. There's a low chance as he makes his way towards the Serralda's Grudge. Imagine the slow even further there with the pen. There was like a Muramana Kha'Zix build going around for a bit. But I think it died off. People stopped playing it. I don't know why. Maybe lane Kha'Zix needs to make a return. See, he has all the evolves. This is going to be a brutal fight for them. He comes through, picks up the Aphelios. And he'll just run straight through the top side. Does have flash if he wants it. Flash is in. Look at this. Jumps. Jump again. Has another jump. Wouldn't be surprised. He just runs it through. Tries to end the game here. Gentlemen, ladies, this is Tarzan in Korea playing Kha'Zix. Hopefully you have enjoyed it. Go off and abuse it in your own game. Seriously, trust me, it's free LP. And I'll keep you guys posted with how Tarzan does in Korea. I think he peaks around 1,000 points challenger. Let me know the peak that you think he gets in the comments down below. And I'll catch you on the next video. Peace.